Anybody who has been a fan of this channel or has watched these videos knows that I am a huge fan of Adrianne Lenker, otherwise known as the front woman and main songwriter in Big Thief, who I think are one of the best bands going right now. They put out their last record was a double record, Dragon New Mountain, I Believe in You. Kind of a tongue twister. I'm finally totally used to saying it, but struggled with it initially. And they have several albums before then. UFOF, that's kind of a tricky one too. Two Hands, Masterpiece, and Capacity. She has a couple solo albums before this one too. Most recently, Songs and Instrumentals, which came out, I think, at the height of the pandemic. But this is her new solo record. It's called Bright Future, and it's a record that I've been waiting for and anticipating. You know, a lot of times for me, the advanced tracks I don't really listen to. I like an album to be an album. I'm such a purist that way. I like to drop the needle and listen to the whole thing all the way through, and I would prefer to have one or two songs not stand out so much that I can't really appreciate them as part of the whole the same way I would any other song. So yeah, I listened, I think, like once to the songs that came out, but I didn't try to listen to them a lot. They didn't really sink in too much for me. So I wanted to wait till this record came out. I've been kind of on a little bit of a moratorium of buying records. I've been slow with work, and I'm just like, okay, time to slow down a little bit. I'll buy stuff that is really important to me. Well, I cannot possibly not buy this one. So I was really looking forward to it coming on release date. Unfortunately, it did not arrive. I think pre-orders for this and initial orders must have been a lot higher than maybe they anticipated, but it took a couple weeks for this record to actually arrive. And yes, I could have gone to an independent store, which usually I like to support, but I am not a big fan of recycled vinyl. I know it's good for the planet. It's just not good for my stereo system. Independent stores, all independent record stores, were mostly featuring the recycled version, at least, or all of them, as far as I could tell. So I think you could get those pretty easily, but I had to wait a little while to get my order of black vinyl, the non-recycled version. But I couldn't wait. I mean, I just could not wait when release day came. So I did listen to it through high-res streaming. I have a digital to analog converter, listened to it between two speakers, and was completely blown away. I love her style. I think, some artists, it's like you don't really, have a hard time with their solo stuff. I like the band stuff and vice versa. Good example of that is Radiohead. Love Radiohead. Don't really get all of Tom York's little side detours as much. Sometimes not at all. But Big Thief, I think I love just about everything that Adrianne Lenker touches, including her solo stuff as well. But what can I tell you about this record? It is a record that is beautiful, very life-affirming. It was recorded mostly live. That's the other thing. I have a little bit of trouble with a lot of modern recordings, modern bands, that everything is so labored over, Pro Tool to death, and it kind of robs the intimacy. It kind of robs the feel of the music, and it can feel a little sterile, at least to my ears. Not the case at all with this band. It's certainly not the case with this record. A lot like Songs and Instrumentals, it was recorded pretty much live. She says in the notes that if a dog barked or someone knocked on the door or there was imperfect noises, they didn't care. They just kept the tape rolling. And you can hear some of that, especially if you turn it up pretty loud. But it's a record dominated by a lot of violin, a lot of piano, and some acoustic guitar. And she's just got this core group of musicians she worked with. I think they rented a house and just kind of did it, not a recording studio. And they did everything analog too, including the analog transfer to press a record. So I think maybe you can hear that too, or you can certainly hear that warmth. Sadness as a Gift was, I think, the song that was released the most or probably listened to the most. It's just an incredible song. This is the second song on the record. It comes after Real House, which all these songs are just incredibly powerful. Real House is a very personal one. I think, well, all of them are, but that one very much about growing up, finally having a real house, but her parents' marriage is crumbling, and just insights and memories that are so sharp at that young age and really powerful. I mean, it's basically a little bit of piano in her voice dominating. It's very, very sparse. But then you get into Sadness as a Gift, which just incredible lyrics. A lot of this whole album is about seemed, to my ears anyway, a relationship ending, but appreciating the lessons that were taught in that relationship and not being bitter and seeing it as a beautiful thing that affected this person in a positive way, which I think is the most mature way you can possibly look at a breakup, right? Like, these people were important to you. They were in your life for a reason. But she's just so poetic about all this stuff. Give you a sample of these lyrics. The seasons go by so fast. Thinking this one was going to last. Maybe the question was too much to ask. You and I could see into the same eternity, every second brimming with a majesty. Her lyrical ability to describe something is just phenomenal on this one. Do you want to go to the river? I know the spot, so deep and green, with wild raspberries and apple trees and rocks to climb between, water like a washing machine. Yeah. I just find her to be such a sharp writer. And one of the gifts for me when this record finally arrived was receiving the lyrics, all of them, every song. And I don't think, it's a type of music you could put it on in the background and it might wash right over you. But if you listen to it, if you have the lyrics in hand and you're listening along with this thing, wow. I think came out of my mouth the first time I heard it. And that was without the lyric sheet. But then with it, I'm just like, wow, this is just incredible poetry. Such really, really good songwriting here. And very, very stripped down, but just beautiful, beautiful language. It repeats one song that was released as a single by Big Thief. That's Vampire Empire. I absolutely love that song. I was hoping that would mean that a new Big Thief record was coming. Unfortunately, I think it was just released as a single. 2 songs. You can actually buy the vinyl. I think it's still available. I never purchased it, although might have to change that. Certainly streamed it a ton. But that song is here, I guess, in its original version, which is definitely the most, I don't know, rockin' song on here, if you want to say that. I don't even think there's drums on it. I'm not one to usually read lyrics, but just listen to this if you're not familiar with her or this song or even Big Thief. I see you there, rejecting all your earthly power, protecting and dissecting until you've emptied every hour. We jump into the pond, then we come under the shower. You lay upon my pillow and you open like a flower. I want to see you naked. I want to hear you scream. I want to kiss your skin and your everything. I want to be your woman. I want to be your man. I want to be the one that you could understand. Shit! What a way with words. And the music too it's just one of those records. If you like singer-songwriters, and especially if you like her, but I mean, she has a little bit of an acquired voice. I know for me it took a little bit to kind of warm up to her, but now I am totally in her world. And this record I think is absolutely incredible. It's on 480. What else can I tell you about it? Like I said, it's got piano, gorgeous violins, a little bit of acoustic guitar. Her voice is it's what it's all about, though. Just talking about one record today, but that is Adrianne Lenker's Bright Future. In my opinion, one of the best records of the year. And you just can't go wrong with this if you're a fan of singer-songwriters. And beauty. It's a beautiful record. What more can I say?